He lost his wife.
Can he get her?
She had a gentle way about her.
Yeah. We gotta mobilize the goats, dude.
Will be remembered as one of the greatest moments in the history of this planet.
You will see the world again, and the world will see you.
You will see the world again, and the world will see you. And Cobell says she'll be dead, if that ever. Are they, like, duplicating her somehow, in some way?
Am I?
She just wanted to talk.
I'm very looking forward to this. Show me it all, mate. Who is that crawling on the floor at the end? Because it's not Irv. I thought it was Irv at first. I've seen him. Who is that? Is it Keir and Egan? Ah! You gotta stop jump scaring me with her, man.
What is this place?
Yeah, can we just put him at ease first? We've got time here.
Why are you here?
Cold Harbour.
No, come on.
Have you finished it?
Okay. Hey, put those eyes away. That's insane.
No.
And she's still alive.
Can we give him a little bit of respect by just slowing down and talking to him, please? Settle him down, give him the context, and then we can go forward. I want to see them. Devon especially, because Cobell doesn't really care. Devon especially, just be like, look, just let's respect this version of him as an actual human. That would be nice.
It's long and black and hidden.
From Irving's drawings. What?
Yeah.
With an elevator going down? We know where it is.
Nice. Yeah, been doing the good work. Okay, this fresh L.
What a funny speech you gave at the party.
Dude, you could kill him right here. I swear to God, I said last episode, he is a fresh bit of wind.
I was cross with you after.
From death, I swear to God. Buddy, you're confused, I swear.
Threw a tin of candies.
Okay.
God, you're weird.
Yeah. Helly, this is your time, mate. Come on, stab to the neck or something.
I do not love my daughter.
Yeah, we can tell. Big shocker.
Used to see care in her, but he left her as she grew.
God damn it.
Sound like a great dad.
Yeah. The dehumanization of her by him, and we've seen her existence. That moment in the tent with Mark, where she opens up, and to my mind, she's being honest about she doesn't like herself on the outside. Like, she doesn't like herself. She clearly doesn't like her life. The first taste of humanity, of human connection, twisted as it might be, non-consensual as it might be with, severed Mark, and she leaps for it. What does that tell you? It tells you that she's starving for humanity, for life. And what's it all for? At the behest of James and his mandate, Lumen, Keir, leader in waiting as she is, and he doesn't even care. And actually we find out, as she grew up, it left her. That's her humanity that has been sacrificed by him, by her, on behalf of him. And for what? He doesn't even care. Ugh. It does, really make me feel for Helena, as awful as she is as well. Because she is. As much as the show is humanizing her, and I think that's a really good idea. And it's really good, and it makes the show better, and it makes her character really, really interesting. I'm so interested. Like, Helena, to me, is one of the most interesting characters. Like, one of. For this stuff and everything we've seen. This season was very much a beginning for her as a character, I think. It would be almost lovely to see a bit of a development of her character to a point that we can actually... She becomes some version of a good person, eventually. Something. Can she? Even just pose the question, can she? And deal with that as we go forward into season 3, season 4 maybe as well. You know what I mean? Let's see. I really want them to delve into that, and it seems like they're going to.
Beside others in the shadows.
Yeah, we've heard about that. Are you going to look at her, this one here, like Helly? Are you going to try and swap him? If he's dissatisfied with Helena, is he that evil? Yes, probably. Does he see her as having potential, though, I suppose is the question. Like Helly. Definitely someone who is young, childlike in a certain way. I don't think Helly would go for it. He doesn't know that, though. I suppose. Maybe, I don't know. Someone to be moulded, though, perhaps, is what he sees.
Until I saw him again.
In you.
In you.
Come on. Stab him.
Created hell and you're going to burn in it.
Yes. This is the time. Come on. Don't hesitate.
There he is.
Really? That's what Keir looks like to you? Fire. Oh my God, he's going to give her life, isn't he?
What do you want from me?
Mate, it looks like he wants to give you the kingdom. Wild. Wild. I'm not surprised. What a freak, innit? What does he want? Because, like, oh my god. Dude, as the father, you were in charge of her upbringing. If you stifled something in her that you wanted, it's your fault. Helena is clearly a product of her environment, as we have talked about, I think, you know, this entire show. As all of them are. As everyone is to a certain extent. And I think we've seen that Helena has that fire in her too. It just comes out in different ways because of who she is. This old man just so deluded, isn't he? And so blind to the fact that he's the root of all his problems.
How do I find her once I'm down there?
No, you won't.
Other guy will, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
If we can prove that they kidnapped her, it will end them.
Will it? Extradite.
What happens to us?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? It's a valid question.
What happens to every innie on the severed floor?
Priorities, mate. Yes, nice, good. Answer the question. Yeah, you didn't really want to confront that question, did you?
You want me to give my life?
No. No, it's not that simple.
Kind of is.
Just to save one person you happen to care about.
Hey, I mean...
There's somebody else who wants to talk to you, actually.
Do we want to tell him about reintegration?
Watch it.
His outside Mark said that he'll give him time. Live harmoniously. I mean, well, maybe he's going to tell him about reintegration, sorry, yeah.
I think you've spoken with Devin and Mrs. Cobell. But the first thing I need to say to you...
Go ahead.
...that I am so sorry.
Epic, thank you.
I created you as a prisoner and as an escape.
God, I love that. Just apologising, and I like, you know he means it as well. That means a lot. That's nice. I don't like if you butter it and...
You've been living a nightmare for 2 years. It's horrific what they've done to you.
Yeah. No mention of reintegration. I just feel like he deserves to know.
I never expected to actually speak to you.
Holy sh...
It is nice.
Let alone get an apology.
Yeah, low expectations, fair.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, this is lovely. I love that finale of season 2. They're finally getting to talk to each other. I love that. I feel like it's been 2 seasons coming, so this feels great.
Because we find ways to make it work, to feel whole, which is why what you're asking scares me.
Yeah, fair.
Whatever this life is,
It's your life.
it's all we have.
Yeah.
We don't want it to end.
There needs to be more than just an end to it. Like, you can't disregard them like that. Like, the damage is done, they exist, and now we have to deal with it. You can't just get rid of them. You can't. They deserve life. Yeah. Just having a conversation. Lovely.
Lumen doesn't have to be your whole life.
Go ahead.
You may have been seeing flashes lately.
Awesome.
Reintegration.
How's he going to take that?
Memories so we can be one person.
This because I see now how unfair this all is to you. And once my wife is free, I swear I will finish the process.
This is the thing, and I've talked about it before, so I'm not going to go into it, but I don't think reintegration is the best thing, because it does kind of get rid of both of them. Or at least, I do feel like, if anything, with him having more time in this world outside, he perhaps, I would say, is the stronger presence in his mind. If anything, Severed Mark is getting erased more so. I think you are taking him into, you know what I mean? I think it absolutely is a reintegration, but I think while perhaps, 2 years, what does that look like? I think it's almost, a whole cake or 2/3 of a cake versus a slice, right? And what you're reintegrating, and the greater part of the Mark that will not be Severed Mark, I think. And so, sorry, there is I think a conversation that you can have about consent. To really have gone about this in the most ethical way. This conversation, and I'm not saying it was possible to do that. I don't think it has been before this point, which is also its own issue, right? None of this is perfect. But, if you want to talk about the most ethical way to go about it, I think it's having this conversation, asking Severed Mark, hey, are you okay if we reintegrate? Hey, what does reintegration mean? He might ask. Explain it to him, and then decide, right? But the fact that you've already done it, I mean, he's talking about, like, I'll finish the process. Is there an option at this point to stop and to keep them both, as individual selves? Because I think that would be a good idea. Yeah, we'll see. Let's see. Let's see what Inside Mark says. I'm very curious as to how he's going to take it.
This life, our life,
belongs to both of us.
Yeah, fair.
And I want to share it with you.
Lovely. Go on, mate. Yeah, have a think.
But what would that mean exactly? That you
Good question, yeah.
you get the right side and I get the...
Yeah. What does it mean?
Is it like a top-bottom situation? I'm honestly trying to understand.
It's fair.
One person combined.
And what does that mean?
My trauma, the good stuff too.
It's hard to kind of conceptualize, I think, in your head.
I mean, you've been alive for, what, 20 times longer?
Yep.
So whoever this...
It's gonna be mostly you.
He'd be way more you than me.
Yeah. Sorry, exactly, yeah.
I just don't think that's how it works.
Why, no?
Okay.
Are you persuading yourself, though, that that's not how it works?
How does it work?
Good questions, buddy. And yeah, I've been talking about this all season, identifying how much of a problem it is. And now they're having to face it, really face it, and get down into the nitty gritty and talk about it. You need to be honest, mate, because he's right.
I lost my job because I started showing up drunk.
Damn.
Ms. Cobell told me you like someone down there?
Yeah.
Helena Egan, right?
Well, not that one.
Any name's Helene?
Close.
Like what you and Helene have. It multiplied like thousands.
No, it's not a competition, mate.
Of like joy and...
No.
And passion.
Then you can see.
No.
I have to get my wife back. I have to have her back.
Hey, look, as much as I don't agree with that, that's not fair. And just because it's been a shorter amount of time doesn't make their love any less important or pure or the potential in what it could be less important. Let's say that first. At the same time, look, they each want their own thing. And this is the conversation where they each have to try to say whatever they can to persuade the other. Because otherwise, it's not happening, right? They can't do this without severed Mark's consent and participation, which is, God, thank God for that, because that gives him power, which so many people and all of them involved in this don't seem to want to give, or I would question, would they even give it if he didn't have that power? I don't think they would. Thank God he's got some self-worth and confidence in himself now, inside Mark.
It's Helly, actually. Helly.
Yeah.
It's a person I'm in love with.
There we go.
You'd know if you'd ever taken an interest in my life.
Yeah.
Before tonight when you need something.
Mm-hmm. Lovely.
Person I'll lose if I do what you say, because you
know as well as I do that her outie won't.
Yep.
Reintegrate.
Yep.
Assuming every word out of your mouth isn't a lie.
Oh, God.
I'm just trying to save my wife.
I can't abandon her.
Oh, no.
I won't abandon you.
I promise.
Yeah, but what does that look like?
The second you get your wife back, you forget I ever existed.
Fair. Considering the way that the severed workers have been treated at every single point, inside Mark included, you can't blame him for feeling this way. And it's like, for me as well, like, I don't believe, like, we know more as the audience about obviously outside Mark, and so he is willing to do the right thing. My problem is, though, is that what is the right thing to him? Because at the moment it seems like reintegration, which I think inside Mark is right. It absolutely isn't fair on inside Mark necessarily. Like that means a worse thing for him and a better thing for outside Mark, like reintegration. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I can't even trust that, because I just think that outside Mark, he's seeing it from a selfish perspective, which I don't blame him for. It's very human, right? But it's look, I think when you sever yourself and split yourself into these two people, you as a person, as a human, become those two people, and you can't deny that. And I think there's perhaps a reckoning that outside Mark needs to have with himself, not himself in the sense of inside Mark, but himself outside Mark, where he needs to come to realize that he's coming at this from a perspective that is quite selfish. I want Gemma and I'll reintegrate. Don't worry, that's good for both of us. Is it? Inside Mark coming back with valid critiques of that, outside Mark not wanting to face that. I think it's been very easy for outside Mark to persuade himself that reintegration is the best thing, when actually no, it's just the best thing for him.
We are in this together. Can't you just trust me?
Not how that works, bud.
No.
Yeah, fair.
Devin! He's a child. Integration, he basically called bull.
Well, he's not wrong.
Thank you.
Let me speak to him alone.
Okay. Okay. She's the person to talk to. It's just, can you trust her? I'm just saying in the sense of she knows how feasible reintegrate. Like, if there's anyone that knows if it's possible or not and what it might mean, it's her. So.
The numbers are your wife.
Yeah, I did say, is it a person? Do they have people down there? I didn't say the wife, but that tracks. And the fear they feel, is that her fear?
They're a doorway into the mind of your Audie's wife, Gemma Scout.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I think that was the first prediction I made, no? Like, sorry, not Gemma specifically, but like a human mind.
What do you see every day when you look at them?
Fear.
Feel things.
Yeah.
Sometimes sadness.
Oh, so it's not just fear.
Woe,
Oh, hi, they're back. Okay, cool.
malice,
Oh, Goatman represent.
The clusters are...
her tempers.
Mm-hmm.
The building blocks of her mind.
What am I building?
God, isn't it so... I only talked about it in season 1 briefly, that they perceive those tempers to be the building blocks of a mind. I mean, I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that to focus specifically on those and just those is a bit twisted, mate. I suppose it's perhaps the things that are easy to manipulate. Like, if you can, do you know what I mean? Like, in the conception of the idea of that, of all of those things she just said, woe, dread, malice, I think if you find a way to be able to twist on those, manipulate those, they are very powerful when it comes to that, when it comes to manipulating somebody or changing, influencing somebody. So it makes sense that like Lumen and Kier and whatever have dialed down so much on those, because that aligns with their goals, right? Of, okay, we want to make the world and this existence how we want it. How do we do that? How do we manipulate? How do we influence? How do we change? What's the most effective way to do that? Well, okay, we've got these tempers, and it's like the insinuation of those specifically, I think, tells you a lot about, like I say, the goals and what they're trying to do and how dark it is in manipulating people, individual people, to achieve a grander goal that takes away the autonomy of a person. Because at the end of the day, the individual humans don't matter. All that matters is the goal. And how dehumanizing is that? Because what are we seeing here? They're focusing specifically on those things to achieve something. Not insignificant things, strong impulses, feelings, emotions. So it's like they aren't the building blocks of the mind. They are specific building blocks of the mind. I suppose that phrase, building blocks, creation, create, is something that they want to create, right? That's the point of it. That's what I mean. You know, that word choice is very telling. Building blocks, what are you building? Exactly, it's exactly what Lumen want to build, which is biased, but in the focusing of those specific things. Dehumanization.
What am I building?
You got all the good questions, buddy. Yeah.
Every file you've completed is a new consciousness for her.
Yeah, right. For what purpose?
A new innie.
Yeah, I think that episode went to show that.
I've completed 24 files.
God.
Or is the last.
25 inside selves.
You will have served your purpose, so will she.
Which is, I mean, you know my theory.
What are you doing here? Really?
Good question.
Mom.
Okay.
There'll be no honeymoon ending for you and Helena.
I did almost say, it's like, even in the event that you don't go along with this plan, you and Helena is so out of your reach. Well, I say that. We've just seen James go in and, you know, there's potential now of Helena being the one on the outside. But she's not wrong. It's hard enough, the idea of, okay, is it possible to get Gemma out for outside Mark? That's hard enough. The most you could say is that perhaps if we get reintegration off the table, inside Mark has a chance at life, you know, allocate him some time, great. How, though, do you make sure that he gets the opportunity to see through his love and have a life with Helena? That's even further out of the reach. But how romantic is inside Mark going to be? How much is he going to lean back on this idea of, I don't care, I just want to make sure there's a chance?
I think you're using me!
But the next thing I see had better be the severed floor. He will never see his wife again.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Okay. Game on. Goddamn. What a cool transition. Yeah. What a... Okay, sure. What a beautiful... I mean, first 24 minutes. Awesome scene. Getting that conversation, everything in it. Mwah, chef's kiss. But then... the transition of thrusting him into the severed floor and us as the audience with him emotionally now puts me in a place, and I'm sure put like so many others watching in a place of, I don't know what's gonna happen. And what a great place to put the audience in at this point, because it puts you in this place of anticipation, of eagerness for the rest of the episode. Brilliant writing. Oh God. They had to have that prepared in advance, surely. Wow. Whoa, okay. Almost biblical, that painting, isn't it? Him at the centre. Oh, the dark corridor behind them. Emptiness, void. That image there of them hugging. Here, look, she comes out. Is this the last time, or one of the last times they're going to see each other? You know, suddenly, actually, I feel as if... Because I think almost if you really want to kind of nail it down, who's the protagonist of this show? Mark, obviously. But then it's like, okay, but who really? Is it inside Mark or outside Mark? I think, you know, before this point, you can argue both ways. I think at this point in the show... Finale, season 2, episode 10. Inside Mark is the protagonist. Suddenly I find myself, and the main through line of this show in a certain way, being this love story here. I think, you know, the start of this episode, and obviously everything that's come before, really sets up this idea and this feeling in your heart and your mind as you're watching of, I want them, because it's suddenly real. This could be the last time, the last moment. It's here now. And I need them to get out. Do you know what I mean? As much as previously I wanted Mark to get Gemma, and I still do. And sorry, I stopped on this image because it's like, all of that I've just talked about, you want this to work, you want them to get out, you want this love story. Suddenly at the center of this thing is a love story of these two. Can it work, or is it going to be a tragedy? I think we've been building up to it for a long time. Anyway, sorry. All of that in this image. Funny how he opens the lift door and we have that almost biblical image. And this image here is so dripping with meaning, isn't it? Them two embracing, wrapped around each other, symbolizing this love, romance, the potential, and what is behind them, this dark void, overbearing, which, yeah, nipping at the heels of this love, this romance is God desolation. Can anything come from it? They've got the deck stacked against them. This darkness, what do you want to say that darkness is? You can say anything you want, an amalgamation of things. Cobell, outside Mark, Lumen, Keir, all the teachings, everything. Coming for these two people that have so little power. It's an underdog story. This image is beautiful.
I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
Me too.
You've got lots to catch up on. Okay. Talk fast, guys. This moment, this day, wreathed in ceremony. Okay. No, guys. Yeah, they do always go with the weirdest thing. And you know to their mind it's glorious and amazing. Just stop being so weird. Yeah, I think in the opening credits, the little guy crawling on the floor is Keir, isn't it?
Love, Mr. Milchick.
Love. Or at that point. A waffle. Cool. Yeah. Alrighty. Guys, can we throw on like a few more lights or something? This is silly. Okay, guys, start talking.
Egan was here.
Cool, thank you.
The fire of Keir being in me.
This might make Inside Mark get on board with the plan if he finds out here now that actually she might be the one outside, because then if they, do you know what I mean? Maybe.
Special day.
I know why.
Yeah. Yeah, we know why. We still don't quite know for what purpose. Yeah, okay, thanks, mate. Yeah. All right, how are they going to repurpose that or use that technology? Okay.
Hello, Dylan.
So no.
He said no?
What a bitch. All right, smug.
What happens when they extract the chip?
I don't think they do. Yeah, work slow, mate.
Is she telling the truth? We're screwed either way.
Kind of. You're backed into a corner with very little option.
Everything's gonna be fine.
You look like you could take a chair to the face, mate.
He could be a total liar.
What if he's not?
Yeah, what other option do you have? What other choice do you have, really? What does this look like if you don't do it? It's a hard choice and it's not fair.
Yeah, but I want to live with you.
Yeah, but it's like ultimately he doesn't really have an option. He doesn't really have the choice.
But I'm her, Mark.
Oh, man.
I'm her.
Of course she thinks that. She's been questioning that all season. She's had people coming up against her. We had Dylan last episode saying what he was saying. Again, you know, look, he was in his feelings and he was lashing out. But then we had James doing what he did, and what did that do? Like to her, to Helena. If anything, James was almost saying, you're more Helena than Helena is. The fact that he approves of her is a huge blow to Helly. But yeah, what's it going to do? It's going to make her feel like she is Helena, or closer than she thought. Which I just don't think is true. I don't think you can define it that way. Look, from a certain perspective, with everything before you that we've seen, I can understand how people could say that Helly and Helena are the same. But I think in every way that matters, they're not. Don't get me wrong. I think they possess almost the same baseline foundation, but based on their upbringing and environment, they wield that in very different ways, which I do think makes them both different people. And like I say, I think, people all season have been saying to Helly, like, we couldn't tell who you were. Irving was the only person, but none of us could. Arguably the closest person to you couldn't tell. But it's like, I do think it's really hard. I've talked about it in a past episode, so I won't retread it here, but I don't think that holds water. I think there's an argument against that. I don't think that's indicative that they are the same. I think it indicates something else. I think it's just more indicative, like I say, of what the severed floor creates and how that makes it so much harder actually to differentiate one from another in the limited scope and space that exists in here and in the Orbo and in this environment, right? I know that obviously there is this exploration of who they are and what makes them up, who they are truly. I think it is a complex conversation. I don't think it's as simple as this. I don't think, Helly, I understand how Helly is saying this and believes this. She's been driven there, pushed there all season. I just, she's been harsh on herself, and I just don't think it's that simple. But I agree. Mark could not do the plan and not do Cold Harbour. What would that mean? I don't think it would mean good things still. Yeah, bless. A tear, crying, because he's working towards his end, or at least the end of his happiness. But yeah, like I say, the alternative is not getting his happiness the other way either. I don't think, not doing it gets what he wants. I don't know that there's any path towards him having a happy life in the way he wants it. Unfortunately, maybe eventually we get there in a future season in some form or other, depending on the events that happen. But right now, don't think it's possible. I did say that I thought that Lumen were going to get whatever they wanted and that Mark was going to finish it and that perhaps they're going to get Gemma out, but it's not quite going to go to plan. And like I say, the fallout is going to be that Cold Harbour, whatever they're going to do with it, is going to happen, and we're just going to have to deal with the fallout. It very much feels like that's where we're going.
Your resignation request, as it may yield an embarrassing emotional response.
Oh God.
And as I'm duly swamped, I shall leave you to read it in solitude.
Okay, that's a lot of words to say. Not my problem, dude. Oh God, that's hilarious. Sprinted away. Oh, wow, okay. Spite? Was it spite?
Point one, you.
Yeah. It's so interesting now. We are actually in this episode, and I feel like this is, in the same way Season 1 finale, that set us up for the story and the main plot in Season 2 as we're going through, and I'll talk on that more in the end, because I have more to say on it. In the same vein, I think this final episode of Season 2 is setting us up for Season 3 now, because I think what we're seeing here in this episode, we're seeing the inside cells and the outside cells of each person warring. Actually being two people having conversations now. We've seen it with Mark, we're seeing it now with Dylan, and I think this is the natural next step of the conversation of this show, is that it seems to me we're going to see more of that in next season. And same, less obviously with Helly and Helena, but with Jaime and that whole thing, I think that injects almost this idea of Helly versus Helena into the equation. It's like who gets to be on the outside. So it's like all of them really are confronting themselves, which is super interesting. And like I say, I think is reflective and indicative of where we're going to go in Season 3, what we're going to be maybe focusing on more.
I've never been an impressive person. When Gretch told me that you're like this self-assured badass, it stung.
Very human, very fair. I mean, it's not fair because I feel like you're acting spitefully as a result of it. That's on you, that insecurity. That's an interesting question though, isn't it? If he's not impressive as he said, I mean, look, I think that's him being harsh on himself. But something in his life has clearly made him into this person where he doesn't have confidence, doesn't have self-assurance. And actually what Inside Dylan proves is that that's attainable. And, look, I think that sort of thing is attainable for anybody. I think you do just have to make the decision that you, of the person you want to be. I think it's like if you come to this point where it's like you really talk to yourself and you're like, I don't like my life, I don't like how I am. I want to be more confident. I want to put myself out there more. Like, and I get that it's scary, but that is all that's holding you back. But that's my point. I think sometimes people see people, you know, that are confident and, oh, aren't they a good speaker? Or God, aren't they living their life in such an outgoing, impressive way? God, I wish I could do that. It's like, newsflash, respectfully, you can. There is nothing stopping you from doing it. You can just one day decide that you want to be that person. You do want to decide to do that. And I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but you can make the decision to move towards that overnight. You can. And incrementally, day by day, and it might take you years, you can get to that person. If you want to, I'm not, you know, there's no pressure, no forcing. But if you want to, if that's something that you aspire towards or an inspired, and, you know, if you have that thought of like, I wish I could be like that, that is telling you, that is your mind, your brain telling you that that's what you want to be. And at the end of the day, you got to make the decision. And it might be small. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do an open mic night or something. It doesn't have to be huge, you know, grand sweep. You know, it can just be, I'm going to strike up a conversation with this barista while I'm waiting for my coffee, because that's the person I want to be. It can be as small as that, and that might be huge to you, and that's fair. But if that's what, like, look, I'm not trying to force anything on anybody. At the end of the day, you got to look inwards and look at the person you want to be. Are you that person? No? Well, then make the decisions, incrementally small as they might be, to get you there, right? This is my point, and I think Dylan and his character is an exploration of that. That's what I mean. I think sometimes people look at other people that are like that and go like, it's just who we are. I don't think that's true. I think what I think the show is kind of coming down on here is actually, yeah, it's something that you can train yourself to be. It's something if you want it. Because this is the thing, I think perhaps outside Dylan's environment has obviously made him into the person that he is. Somewhere down the line, it's made him, you know, maybe err more towards that. Does that mean that that is where he's destined to go or was destined to go? I don't think so. I think our decisions count for a lot. And don't get me wrong, the world is as it is. Social issues exist as they are. The economy, you know, society exists how it does. There is a lot out of our power. But the one thing that I think is in our power is our ability to identify within ourselves what we perhaps aren't happy with and to make different decisions and to train ourselves into places that, you know, might be more palatable or might be a version of ourselves that we like more and who we want to be. I think there's a conversation of that in this. And a demonstration of that in this, in how they both are, how one is so different to the other. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because Helly's saying we're the same. Helly and Helena are the same almost. And you can see where, like, we were just talking about that. And now we're getting the example of Dylan and how they're so different. And then you have Mark and Mark, and it's like they're the same but different. I think, is that what Mark said? I can't remember. One of them said it. Because they're both they're both in their own love story. They're both seeking to get a life with the one they love, but they are both quite different people as well. Same but different. Helly, we're getting, you know, this representation of the same, even though I disagree with that. That's, you know, what's happening in the show. Dylan, the representation in the show is that they're both very different, and I think that's the show is kind of demonstrating with these three characters actually all of the different ways. It's not one thing. I think it's almost this idea of humanity is so malleable. It's so changeable. I think that's what it's kind of maybe dialing down on a little bit more, right? This idea of there's no rule. There's no rule, right? There's no, okay, you are the same person. You are destined to be the same thing at all times. Chances are that you could be, but maybe not. Chances are that you could be the complete opposite. Chances are that you could be the same, whatever it might be. I think if we're getting onto this conversation of the exploration of humanity, who we are, what Severance can mean, what it's demonstrating, I think it's going to show us that actually the answer to who we are, who am I, it's down to you. And we can be pushed this way and this way and this way based on our environment and life and society, and that's absolutely true as well. But you can train yourself to kind of be aware of that, how perhaps you have changed, how it might not fit with who you want to be, and you can change that. Anyway, yeah, interesting.
I hope someday she sees in me what she sees in you.
Cool, good for you. No need to be harsh on Inside Dylan though.
I guess I like knowing you're there.
Okay, fair.
If you want to leave, you can, but I think you should stay.
I mean, I don't know what Luma's going to be after today, but good that you're giving him the autonomy.
You're outie.
Do you know what? That's fair. I'm okay with that. I don't think the F-bomb at the start is needed. I don't think it's up to him. I don't think that's Inside Dylan's fault, ultimately. Here we go. Done. Oh, you never get used to that in the background, do you?
Been trying to think of other place names besides Delaware.
Mhm.
And the equator.
The equator? Is that a building?
Or a continent.
Building that's like so big.
They gave a continent.
Oh no. Oh man, bless him.
Just wish we had more time.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go. We need to hightail it to the elevator. I mean, is she going to be pregnant next season? Because they've had sex twice. Oh, come on. That's sweet. Is this going to impact it? The fact that she's there with him, helping him? Because surely it's important that it's him specifically doing it. The fact that she's there, is it going to change it somehow? Alright. Alright, whatever's going on with Cold Harbour, I do feel like it is going to be a next season thing. I don't know if we're going to find out what that is until then. I think right now, the end of this episode is going to be Gemma. The episode Cobell very specifically did not tell us the purpose of it all. Okay.
Mark S.
Oh no. What?
Leading your 25th macro data file.
There's a chain smoker? What's going on?
One of the most important people in history.
Cool.
Revel now in the fruit of your labors. Floor manager.
Really? Is he gonna run on? Stop it! That's so silly. I love that, the cut of the music. That was the timing. The timing. Ah, the little fist bump was perfect.
You're looking very handsome.
I'd say the same, if not for vision.
Rude.
My, you're verbose.
Ugh, come on. Wow, still digging at him, huh? Yeah, close up on his face.
I mean this wax statue that's 5 inches taller than you actually were.
Wait, is there actually a crowd watching this? Or like the board?
Thank you for that feedback.
Okay. I like it, it's clearly... Alright. It's clearly someone like talk, like obviously it's obviously someone talking, but is it like a board member? And the other board members are listening maybe? Just with that laughter. Oh, this is awkward.
Choreography and merriment!
Oh, I'm ready for this, yeah, go. Oh dear lord. I thought it was going to... Yep, grab him by the nipples. Yeah, sure, okay. Guys, we gotta go. Like, what were these guys told? You know what I mean? I want to know how they were prepped, mate, for this event. They've got to be Lumen workers, aren't they? Oh, this anthem again, seriously? This is gonna go with me to my grave, I swear to God. This is the time to slip away. Okay. Alright. Okay. Right.
Welcome, Mr. Egan.
Dr. Mauer.
C-test will begin shortly.
Are they putting something into him?
Thank you, C&M.
Wow, okay.
The Ballad of Ambrose.
Okay. Perfect. I'll be honest with you, I was a little disappointed when he didn't immediately break out into dance. This is exactly what I wanted. Yeah! Mate, honestly, since season 1, him dancing, this is all I wanted from the show. This is literally all I wanted. They're holding him back, I feel like. Do you know what I mean? Who came up with the choreography? He's more than this.
You ready?
Yeah, kiss and go.
See you at the equator.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. His face there is like, can we not have one day? Can we not have one day where you just get on board? Like, his face was so done. Yeah. Oh, man just wants to dance. Bless him. I mean, this is perfect to get away, yeah. There's a lot going on. These guys literally just hired to be in the room and do their thing. They're like... Did you flush it? Oh, that sucks for you, mate. Amazing. Boy, you got played.
Can I get a little help?
Dylan, mate, yeah, get involved. Oh, God. Oh, buddy, how are we going to get past him? Maybe the timing's going to work out. But not being funny, he's a brick house. What? Okay. Oh, mate, you do not want to get one direction wrong, do you, here? Sorry, it's besides the point, I'll be honest with you. But, like, I hate a font that, like, makes O and D look the same. It is a nitpick, I'll grant you. But also, like, off with that shit. There they are. Oh, great. Are they going to sacrifice a goat? Oh, okay, hello. Yeah, that, to be honest, mate, actually quite a riveting look that you've got there. Yeah, why do I feel like they're sacrificing the goat? That's never a good place to be in emotionally, I feel like. Do you know what I mean? I love that these guys don't care. They were hired for one thing and they're like, nah, that is all we're doing, dude. Yeah. Yeah, Dylan. Hurry up. Oh, God, is your finger... I don't care. I actually don't care. Sorry, you're a piece of shit. That looks like the cot that Mark was trying to build. Oh, you were just watching. I would not be surprised, and this is an impressive place the show's got me in, if he started right there. I'd be like, this is normal for these people. Do you know what I mean? That's never good.
Who are you?
Not a Gemma, by the way, just the event. Like, no kink shaming, but also a little bit.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what you want. Is it almost going to be like a brainwashing thing? Something injected into people to make them, I don't know, carbon copy human zero, ready to be manipulated, you know, almost erase the humanity in a person to replace it with all of the inside cells they've created with Gemma, inject all of those into like one person, you know what I mean? Overwrite almost. It's a way to subjugate the masses if they can try to mass produce and mass inject without, you know, people knowing. Because that, you know, that's what that speaks to me. Who are you? I don't know. James smiles. Cool, that's what they want. They want people to not know who they are. What does that do? It makes people blank slates to craft whoever you want, whoever Lumen wants, right?
Mammalian's nurturable brings an offering.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Has it verve?
It's got lots of verve, mate, yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
The most of its flock.
This is the top goat, that's what you're saying. This is a death room, innit? Gwendolyn, mate, I'm going to level you. This is one of your best looks. I love it. Everything you're doing.
This beast will be entombed with a cherished woman.
Don't love the word entombed. Great.
It is.
We're all getting sacrificed. Oh, look at it. Oh, bless you, man. It's never too late, man. Fight for the goat. Okay. Nah, draw the line at goat murder. Come on.
Then give me its life.
This imagery is so interesting. We have Gemma taking this cot apart in a moment, deconstructing it, taking away this symbol of the newborn, of the idea of the baby, of new life. We also have this sacrificing of a baby goat, a little bit more literal. Both in tandem represent this nullification of the potential of life, snuffing it out, taking it away, which is exactly what I think Lumen's goal is in their subjugation of humanity. Hurry up, Mark. Oh, and I guess maybe this completes the picture, because what's the most traumatic event of all in certain ways, or at least to the outside mind? Death. Do they need her to die to complete whatever they're doing? Maybe.
In his eternal war against pain.
Against pain. Yeah, it sounds like against pain. It's some twisted mindset, isn't it, that trauma and pain is to be avoided, which is so antithetical to humanity, I feel like. You're making her... That's disrespectful, mate. Okay, at least they closed the door. Go on, mate. Gotta get her out. One job now. Oh, no. Refuse.
How many?
Mate, you got a gun in your hand, you can shoot him.
How many more must I give?
Oh my God, how many more? How many have you done this to?
As many as the founder calls.
Oh, no. Oh. Oh, goddamn. Yeah, she has a gun. Come on, she could be the decider here. He must have a key card. I can see him getting shot. Mark takes the key card. Off we go. Gwendolyn's on board. She's primed. Yeah.
Mark S.
Hi.
wrong door.
Oh God, yeah. Okay. Jesus, that was a dirty punch, was that, man? They probably don't need him anymore, do they? It's not ideal. Mark, go bash. Yeah. Yeah. Play dirty, you gotta. Gwendolyn. Sorry, wrong show. Yeah. To the balls. Okay, fine. Come on, Mark. Come on, Mark. Oh. Gwendolyn, mate, for the goat. Come on. Dear Lord. This is rough. You sick f***. You've wanted to do... You're enjoying this, aren't you? You've wanted to do this for a long time. You're just going to get shot in the head, I think. Don't be shy. Pull the trigger.
No more killing.
No. That... Okay, fine. Just one more. You know what I mean? For you. For me. Yes! Gwendolyn, I saw you as Brit. Oh, God. Yes! Come on! Yeah! Oh, mate, she's got it. She's got the strength to take him. I swear to God. Go on! Together. This feels right. Yeah. Oh, my God. Yes! Yeah, let it out.
Wait! Wait!
Let me get out of the way first, yeah. We've wasted a lot of time. Come on. Take his card, let's go.
The barrier is holding.
She feels nothing.
The barrier is holding, she feels nothing. They're trying to make sure that the process they've put her through, that Gemma isn't coming through. Because that obviously means something to Gemma. It would trigger her in an emotional way. The barrier is holding, it's not triggering her at all. So whatever they've done, this is a test. It's beautiful, she feels nothing. They are like developing technology that blankets over humanity. Numbed her. Nice, yeah. Get the goat.
Thank you. Emil thanks you.
Oh, Emil. He's a real one.
Emil is the name of the goat.
No, I got it, mate, yeah. Are we sure we wanted to bring Drummond along?
No, in a second. I need to change to my Audi.
Oh, God. No. Moment of vulnerability. Yeah, oh my God. What a way to wake up, dude. That's rough. I'm okay with it. That's so funny. Am I messed up? We were supposed to laugh at that, right? Yeah, sorry, dude. That's funny. It's like, who killed him, really? Kind of both of them. Kind of neither. There's something a bit beautiful about that. There was probably a moment of, like, not really consciousness that he was in, that I do feel like both of them escaped the trauma of that. It's an interesting conversation, isn't it? Like, who killed him? Amazing. I feel like you gotta move quicker, dude. Can't catch a break, can he? Yeah, at least he knows what he's looking for.
Don't mention it's a property of choreography and merriment.
Okay.
Return to your department now!
Really? You don't wanna...
Wait.
Huh?
Used to have 4 seats.
Yeah, let's draft him.
If he gets out, we're dead.
You've seen them do it.
Yeah.
I know you've lost friends too.
Hey, she's a leader. There you go. More fuel for the fire of how similar are they?
They give us half a life and think we won't fight for it.
Yeah. There we go, man.
Right, Milchick?
Yeah. Ironically, Seth's got half a life in the way that this place allows him to be. Or should I say doesn't allow him to be.
How'd you get in here? Jesus.
Mate, punch to the face. Sorry, just...
Do it! No! No!
Yeah.
No! No!
All you need is a finger, dude.
No! No!
Okay, sure. Hey, whatever works, man.
Jesus.
Will it let him in? Is it blood-coded, or... Okay, it is. Yeah, you got Drummonds, though. This is not hygienic. Nice. I was going to say, is it going to change him this room? Or is it just triggered to Gemma? Yeah, it's huge. I know this is a moment, mate, but you need to get her out.
It's me.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love it that we got this moment. This is all I wanted. Like, I don't... Okay, so this is all I wanted. I just wanted them to meet and have this. Like, after this, they can do what they want. Like the show. And I feel like they will. I feel like the show will... I don't know necessarily if they're going to get out, or she's going to get out, or he's going to get out. But like, to me now, this is all the show needed to give me as a result of the 2-season long building to this moment. Now they can do what they want. That's fine. I just needed this.
Your name is Gemma Scout.
Get wrecked.
We've been married for 4 years.
Oh, is it going to bring her out? The barrier's holding. Is it not going to hold?
Don't speak to that man.
All right, mate.
We can get it back.
Sorry, I love that he woke up, blood spurting on his face, but with the knowledge that inside Mark went along with the plan. I love that. That's so funny, though. What a way to do it.
We have to go.
Come on, Gemma. Come on.
Stop.
Yeah, look, nothing happened. You touched him, nothing happened.
Mr. Drummond.
Oh, he ain't answering, mate. Yeah. I just need I need Dr. Mao to take another chair to the face, okay? That's all I want. That's music to my ears. It really is.
It's the spouse!
Oh god, she's gonna turn. Is she?
It's okay.
Oh my god. It's painful how slow they're going.
Come on.
This is what I mean. I don't think they're getting out, man. Okay, can we speed it up now? Do the hot, yep. Beautiful. This is what I wanted. This is it. Ah, yeah. Yeah. She's sweet. Little less sweet with Drummond's blood on your face, but I'll take it. Oh, smashing. Alright. Yeah, I'm getting enough answers that I'm cool if they leave the purpose of Cold Harbour to next season. I feel like next season we're going to be warring, perhaps, the inside cells with the outside cells. Almost warring for their humanity. Their each individual humanity. While Lumen pushes ahead with Cold Harbour. I mean, does this compromise it? Them getting Gemma out? Like, this is what I mean. I feel like perhaps she had to die to complete the process. Maybe. Will they push without her? If they get out? I do feel... yeah, okay. No, maybe she is going to get out. Maybe they'll push ahead.
Gemma, stop!
Oh, God.
No.
Can we Sparta kick him?
You'll kill them all!
What? The innies? Oh, this is going to be weird, isn't it? Yeah. Oh god, oh my goodness, there's so much happening that we need to get past and it's slowing us down.
What's taking place?
Long story, mate.
Yeah,
please go. Oh man, it's not over yet. It is not over yet. Yeah, maybe Lumen just go ahead with whatever they've got. And push ahead with the plan, even if it's not perfect, whatever it is that they've made. Come on, man. Yeah, he's getting out, isn't he? Come on, it's 2 versus 1, guys. Let's go. Or is it going to be the whole band? Mate, this could not have gone more wrong for him.
You gotta go right now!
Why not all of you? Why not you as well?
You.
Yeah, let's go. Mark, follow?
Mark, come on!
Oh, he wants Helly. Of course he does. If he leaves Helly. He's literally choosing between Gemma and Helly. Oh, man. Kind of beautiful, actually, because he's giving outside Mark, Gemma. He did the plan, and now he's looking after himself. He needs to get Helly first, doesn't he? He needs to get her out. That's what's going through his head, I think. This is fair. I completely get it.
Mark!
Oh, there she is. Let's go. Is it the thing she turns into Helena? It's a bit rough, innit? Literally choosing between them. Poetic. Oh no, don't kiss in front of her. Please don't confuse Gemma. She has no context. Oh, we're so close, man. Oh, what do you do? Oh, James gives Helly the autonomy. That would be a really interesting storyline, through line for Helena. If James puts Helly in charge, and then what have we've got that's such an interesting character perspective, because I think at that point we will have probably moments, I think, with the show giving Helena autonomy again, finding out that that's her reality, how that makes her feel, and what's such an interesting dynamic that would strike. Yeah, that's where it's going. Sorry, because that's why I got onto it. Helly will be more on board with that, because the only thing I think keeping her in this life is Mark S., the love that they have. And then what? The person that's going to empower her and give her autonomy, James, Why would she not take that? Of course she would. As well as the murkiness that her identity has been thrust into this season of who am I? And she, to her mind, they're not so dissimilar, her and Helena. That's where it's going, I think, isn't it? Next season. Oh, god damn. Oh, man. Because what they're going to do, they're going to keep Mark down there. They're not going to let him out. And they'll never have this version of Mark want to leave, because if he leaves her. And if she has more autonomy next season, Helly, in having the power, if James gives her that, then she can come down here whenever she wants to see him. That's such a twisted dynamic. It's almost a swapping. They got Gemma out, now Mark's trapped down there. Quite poetic, and I love that. I think this is giving the opportunity next season for so much characterful moments for everybody involved. For Gemma, you know, we get more Gemma as well next season probably. From Mark's perspective, because inside Mark just wants his own life with Helly. That's all he wants. He'll never walk out of here of his own volition. If he does, he leaves this. That's not happening. Oh man. Oh god, that's gonna mess Gemma up though. What? Hide. This makes perfect sense, and I like it. I like it for what it's setting up for the potential of next season, and also puts you in a place where it's going to array both Marks against each other, which is super interesting, because that's in line with, I think, my theory for where I think the theme of next season is going to kind of go, in the severed selves and the outside selves kind of coming to loggerheads and challenging each other, maybe opening more of a dialogue between them. Mark and Mark, Dylan, Helena, Helly. It's kind of perfect. He got her out. He did his duty, and then he's allowed to make his own decision. That's the whole point. They should be allowed to, and he did that. Quite nice that we're closing on them running down these corridors together, though. How many times has one of them or both been running alone down these corridors in panic, and now they're running together and happy? Ending on red. Yeah. Telling, I think, that it ends on the colour red. Blood, right? Or love. God. Ooh, yeah. Which one? Because that decision and where this leads us now could go one of two ways. It's going to be filled with love. It absolutely is. But does that mean blood? Is this choice going to mean that it's not all going to go well? Possibly. But they did it for love. I don't think that Mark is going to regret it. I think, you know, there's going to be a part of him that's going to be like, I made it for the right reason. I followed my heart. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I think that was perfect. I think that's everything that season 2 needed from its finale. And I've talked a lot about needing to see the last episode to kind of find out how I feel about the entire season. The only thing that I needed to see really was and to know how I ultimately felt about it was, okay, are they going to tell us the purpose, the actual, like, definitively the purpose of Cold Harbour? And if yes, if no, whatever they decided, however they presented it, how would I feel at the end of that? And I couldn't know that until I actually watched this. So how do I feel now that I've seen it? I'm okay with it. I am. I think it's fine. I think the thing that I weighted more as something that I really needed to see was Mark and Gemma coming together, I talked about it, I've been talking about it, I think, for a few episodes now, coming together, giving us that moment, and then after that they can do what they want, which is absolutely what happened, and I think I'm happy with how that happened. I think everything that happened was kind of perfect in regard to their characters. Everything made sense from a character perspective. It makes complete sense that Marquez did what he did, stayed in. It's painful because you want him to go, they're so close, but I think it makes absolute sense that of course he would go for Helly. You know what I mean? Like, and his life and his autonomy, if he walked out that door, he kills himself, and he never goes to, do you know what I mean? Like, it makes, and almost me watching, I talked a lot about, you want this love story between them, it could be the end. You want it to continue. You've been seeing it build for 2 seasons. You want that to continue, and I think him choosing to go with Helly makes 1, absolute sense, but 2, I think, at least for me, my opinion, considering, you know, that place that I'm in with that love story and wanting it to bear fruit and continue, even if it's painful or it's going to be cut off in the next moment, it's almost this idea of giving that love between them as much time as is humanly possible, even if we go into next episode of season 3 and it and they never see it, which I don't think is going to happen, and they never see each other again. They got a few more minutes together, and I think that's beautiful. I love that. So I think James going to give Helly more autonomy next season. I think it very much, that scene speaks to me, between the two of them, of him choosing Helly, which is so interesting. Makes sense to me. He's such an evil man, and his reasoning, and yeah. And I think going into next season and starting to explore a little bit more this idea, I think this season does a decent job of kind of trying to array, and as we've come through, and now finally with this episode, trying to array both selves of each person against each other. And it has been starting to ask the question of how different or how similar are they? You know my opinion on it, I've talked about it. But I think going into next season, we're really, I feel like, going to challenge that in big ways. That's the sense I get. And I think the way that this has ended has put us into a really good place to do that, especially with James and Helly. What seems to be going on there. Where that puts Helena, I think that puts Helena in a really interesting position from a character perspective. I'm so interested to see how that goes. The decision that Mark S. made, and how that's going to stand him in the stead it's going to stand him in with outside Mark. Not so great. The kind of almost mutual respect agreement almost. I don't know if it is mutual with Inside Dylan. He just kind of sat back. He didn't rage about it. I think the letter that he got was kind of like, okay, I can see why you've written all that, blah, blah, blah. How Inside Dylan ultimately feels about it, we'll see. But they're kind of in a bit of a stalemate at the moment between themselves. But there is conflict there. Right, and conflict, all of it driven by love. At the end of the day, I've talked about it from that perspective, but not really with Dylan. I mean, it's all, their conflict is driven by Gretchen, right? I mean, I suppose it's the show kind of coming down on this thing of what defines humanity, love. What really shaped, is that the answer that the show is coming down on? The thing that ultimately shapes us and changes us as humans, or makes us, the thing that we are constantly intertwined around, love. Right, because that is the deciding, and it's so interesting. I had that conversation earlier with the Tempers of like, that's what they, Lumen and Cobell, Keir, whatever, see as these defining traits, the building blocks of the mind, the 4 Tempers. What are we actually seeing as being the building blocks for the love, right? In direct, conflict with that. Idea of these 4 Tempers that are like negatives, these things to be influenced. That's the thing, I think, the difference, isn't it? We as people or Lumen, whatever, influence the Tempers. That's the angle that goes towards. Whereas from this side, love influences us. It's not the other way around, which I think is more a more human, more organic interpretation of how humanity lives and exists, as opposed to this thing that Lumen have, which is, no, we must control, we must shape it, manipulate it to our own ends. It's almost this weird relationship with power. But I think like it's an interesting pitfall, isn't it? I think as humans, there is almost this desire to have control and be, and like I talked about it a lot earlier about, like, I think it's different to this conversation, but of you are in control. But I think, to a certain extent, you are not in control as well, right? Like, it just depends on the angle you're having that conversation from, in the sense of the conversation that I had earlier about it. I think I stand by. I think you can make your decisions and who you are, blah, 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 at the same time. There's only so far that can go, and you do have to a certain extent, surrender to things like love or whatever it might be. You don't control that influences us too. And anyway, I was talking about it. I talk about it all day because these are interesting things, right? It's all about human nature, the human condition. Who are we ultimately? What makes us up as humans? What is the right way to be? I think it's everything that Lumen is doing is a perversion of humanity. I think it's the wrong way to go. But yeah, it's interesting, all of this conflict going forward, and it'll be interesting next season to see where those conflicts go. In 2 main ways, like I say, one, in the individuals that we see, the characters that we have warring in conflict with each other, the severed self, the outside self, and also what can come out. The Tempers or love? Do we cede control to this very human, very organic thing? Or do we try to exercise control over it, which I think is less human? And I think that colour that we end on, red, blood or love, which one's going to win out? we'll see. Season 3, that I feel like is going to be the focus, and I think it's a really, really, really interesting place to put the show. You know, as much as I've talked about what I've talked about, and I'm going to talk about that in a second a little bit more, I think there are some issues with the pacing this season. So let's talk about that. Because I did write something down, because I think at the time of recording this, episode 6 just came out, or 7, I can't remember which one. And there was a few comments. I don't really remember exactly what I spoke about in it, but it did rub some people up the wrong way. Or I don't know. I think sometimes my commentary has been a little bit, or erred more on the side of, I think, negative, at least in the way it's been received. I didn't necessarily always mean it in a negative way. It was just kind of just trying to, I guess, objectively critique the show in what it was doing and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I wrote this down. So, sorry, I don't have a teleprompter, so it might just be that I read this out, but I formulated my thoughts on as to the pacing. I know that a lot of people have talked about this season feeling a bit disjointed, or at least those that maybe don't like it as much or the criticism has been that it's a bit disjointed, which I agree with. And I think I've identified why that is in, like, technically, structurally as a season. So anyway, let's talk about it. So the pacing issue. This idea of a disjointed season 2, the writer's intent, how well they achieve that, and what I ultimately think of it. I've seen a little pushback in comments on certain videos, which is fair and valid, like, absolutely. I do agree, like, fair. You know, at the end of the day, this is, you know, my opinion, but if you disagree, it is what it is. All I can do is array my thoughts and, you know, be as thorough as I can be. At the same time, there seems to be a misunderstanding about the central plot of this season, that being Cold Harbour and Gemma. Let's start from the beginning. I think in season 1 we have this show, these characters, and the main meat of the season is how Severance affects them, what it means, and we go on a journey with that being the central focus and plot in general. Season 1, right? At the end of season 1, this shifts as we have the Gemma reveal. This puts us onto a new trajectory for season 2, which is good, and I do still think that. A sequel should strive to do something different while maintaining elements of the first that we all grew to love and enjoy. I'm not saying that Severance season 2 isn't about Severance itself. It absolutely is, of course. From episode to episode, we're still dealing with that, diving deeper, and I think this is also good. And which I've said, I've enjoyed that part of this season thoroughly, right? At the same time, the plot has shifted. Severance itself, our characters in season 2 are undeniably intertwined around and driving towards Cold Harbour and Gemma. That is the central plot to the season and the end goal that has been set up both in the finale of season 1 and into episode 1 of season 2 and onwards. Structurally, this is what season 2 is built around. It seems to me as if people have said the writer's intent was the question of who are you? And so that means the plot of season 2 is still Severance. But honestly, that's not necessarily the season I watched. And I still think this, by the way. I wrote this obviously before seeing this episode, but I do still think this. It's not the season that was presented to me. I think as a writer, it's absolutely fair to say that's what the intent was. It's another question entirely as to whether an audience agrees with that or it translates in exactly that way when all is said and done. Just because intent might be one thing, it doesn't mean that's the thing actually achieved. In my opinion, this actually clears up a lot of things for me in regard to the problems with season 2, because while one thing was written already into the show in season 2, that being Gemma Cold Harbour, clearly the writers had an intent that deviated from that, which I think creates the pacing and conflict that I was identifying as I went through the episodes this season. Like, look, going off script a little bit. Look, obviously a lot of you have already seen the season, so your comments have reflected having all of that knowledge and coming to my critique of it and being like, well, no, you've got it wrong. The intent of the writers was this. It's like, I get that, that's fair, fine, whatever. At the same time, like I say, that's not necessarily the season that I watched in what they set up at the start of the season structurally. So it's like, I stand by my critique of the season, even though like I enjoy the season. I liked the ending, and actually now looking back on it, like I think it's a good season, right? Anyway, sorry, carry on. It became more apparent as I went through season 2 that more and more the writing diverted and sought to be somewhere else than the established launching point created by the writers at the end of season 1 and into season 2. That's all well and good. I'm not saying that that was even bad, because you've seen me commenting on the content of this season and saying there's good stuff here. What I do think was mismanaged was the structure that was established from a technical level early on and then to large part abandoned as we went further through this season. Now obviously that was picked up as we got to the last episode, but largely throughout the season as we went through was kind of put on the back burner a little bit more. I've seen more and more comments talking about season 2 being disjointed in pace and that being the thing people have criticised it for. It's also something I've discussed as I've gone through season 2. Now, I think it's entirely fair if you don't feel like it is disjointed, but if you want to know why it feels that way to some people, this is why. Structurally, one thing was set up as the plot of season 2, largely abandoned by the writers in favour of a show centred more around character than any one event, and the season flip-flops between trying to be a more conventional show with the end goal of Gemma and Cold Harbour and philosophical debate about who we are, which is also good, by the way, but this is a little less conventional in the space of modern TV. This is kind of besides the point, this is more discussing, but my theory would be that while their goal, the writers, was what it was, they needed a way to make the season a little more conventional and therefore more commercial, constructed the Cold Harbour plot, probably tied Gemma to that to make it personal in the case of Mark, which makes the audience care about it, at least conceptually, and the writers left that to burn in the background while they focused on what they actually wanted to focus more so on. This wouldn't be a bad thing, if only for the fact that I think a lot of the audience got hooked on the Gemma factor, got invested in a way between seasons 1 and 2 that the writers didn't necessarily anticipate, which made the inclusion of less focus on her and Cold Harbour a bad thing when the season actually came around for people to watch. I think this was probably all exacerbated by the fact that people waited for so long with that cliffhanger, got to season 2, only to find that the thing they'd been waiting and hankering for wasn't actually going to be the focus of season 2, even though that's the way it had been presented in that transition between seasons. The pace feels so disjointed because while the writers are focused on the question of who are we, they wrote an overarching plot that needs building up towards, and they need to fit all those puzzle pieces together. It's a gargantuan task, and like I say, at some level conflicting, and to me at least, I can understand how they might not quite stick the landing in the most perfect of ways considering that task. I don't say all this to criticise the writers, I really don't. I think they did a great job with what they had and wanted, but it would have been tough for anyone to have spun all of these plates and not have one fall. I'm not even saying any of these elements are bad. I've thoroughly enjoyed both the who are we debates, because that still exists and is good, the deeper dive into Severance, and the incremental reveal of Gemma and what's going on in the basement. These are all good things. What I am saying is that these two things in combination weren't executed perfectly and together warred with each other to the point that it disrupted the pacing of the season overall in a way that some people didn't vibe with. All this said and done, I think a spectrum exists, and we all exist on it in regard to this show, with at one end there being, I like the show a lot, it didn't feel disjointed to me, but I can see how it could come across that way to others, and the other being, I'm not sure I liked the season that much because it felt disjointed and poorly paced. That's the spectrum. I think we all exist at some point between that of I have a problem with it or I don't have a problem with it and I really liked it. And God, you have everywhere along this, you might, still feel like it was disjointed, didn't, perhaps like the pacing at parts, but still quite like the season, which, is what it is. Okay. I have to stress at this stage that all I'm actually trying to say at this point in my critique is to insist that that spectrum does exist. The idea to have conflicting written plots in the intent of the writers and what has already been established and written by them in the Gemma and Cold Harbour arc next to the intent of where the writers actually wanted to go was not the optimal way to tell this story, and does and will result in either confusion or dissatisfaction by some of the audience. From a technical perspective, that's where the disjointedness comes from, right? So it's like, in my opinion and everything that I've been hearing, sorry, that's all I wrote. I finished with that now. Good. Awesome. That is my personal and professional, if you want to call it that, critique. I know a lot of you have been watching my channel for however long, and, you might respect my opinion, whatever. Maybe you don't, and that's fine too. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it's an opinion. But that is my humble opinion as to, like, again, that's not... I know I'm critiquing it. It's not necessarily meant to be harsh criticism or anything like that. I do honestly just think of my job, or at least the inclination of the way that I like to make content is me critiquing and being objective. And like I saw issues or small blips in the construction of this season. Hearing that the intent was, okay, we want to focus on the who are we thing makes complete sense, but also, like I say, gives me and gave me a lot of clarity as to why this season is how it is, and actually where some of that, like I say, disjointedness does come from. Like, there's a reason some people think that. Maybe they don't know where that comes from. That, to my mind, is where that comes from. Sorry. Lots of talking. It is what it is. Where do I ultimately come down on this season? I honestly think it's reductive to say that season 1 or season 2 was better than the other, or you know what I mean? I just don't think that's the right question. I just don't think it really matters. You know what I mean? I think they're both good. I think season 2 does everything a season 2 a sequel should do. I think it, you know, it maintains that core element that season 1 had that everyone liked in Severance and dealing with that and diving deeper. But it had that overarching plot of Gemma, Cold Harbour, and this new dynamic to, you know, the Lumen floor that I think, you know, doing something different that I think a season 2 a sequel should do. You should have that familiarity, but something different. Go deeper, go further with the concepts that you have, and you know what I mean? So I think, you know, perhaps there was something lacking in the presentation of it this season. That's fair to say, I think. Does that bring down the season maybe a little bit in people's minds? But I think I got everything that I wanted from this season, ultimately. And it's like season 2 gave me more than season 1 in regards to exploring this concept and more of what's going on in this mystery that is Lumen, Severance, Cold Harbour, all of that stuff. So it's like, to some extent, like season 2 was better than season 1. In some respects, season 1 was better than season 2 in pacing and how it was constructed and how it ended. So it's like, this is what I mean. I think it's reductive to say that one's better than the other. I think they both have strengths. They both have weaknesses in certain ways, you know, if you want to call it that. At the end of the day, it's good television. It's a good show. I'm very excited for season 3. That's where I land. So hey, look, you can agree, you can disagree, that's your right and that's fair, and I'm never going to complain about that. That's always what I've said. But no, I had a good time. It's good. What I will say is that whenever season 3 comes around, I'll cover it. Hopefully it'll land with really good timing. Maybe I can time it and I can cover it as it releases. I don't know, but maybe I'm going to be smack bang in the middle of a show. And I won't have the space to do it immediately, but if not, I can do it after whatever show. So anyway, that's the plan. I genuinely I hope you've enjoyed these videos. Sorry, I know this is a long video, but it is what it is. I know some of you haven't enjoyed some of my critique because it perhaps has come across as more negative. I honestly didn't necessarily mean it that way. I just tried to be as honest as possible about how I felt and why I felt the way that I felt. Look, it's the internet. People are going to fling things at you. I do want to communicate because I know some people haven't enjoyed that critique as much. Like, I do try, if I don't like something, to really articulate in detail why I don't like something, which might come across to some people as annoying or whatever else, or whiny, and like I don't mean it that way. If I have an opinion, I like to eloquate exactly why. So even if you disagree, you can kind of understand where I'm coming from. All right, I'm gonna shut up. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, this series, please subscribe. I've got Adolescence coming next, probably Succession after that. I got Donnie Darko next Wednesday, just FYI. Anyway, drop a comment, let me know what you thought of the season. Let me know your thoughts for season 3. Do you agree with where I think it's gonna go? Do you disagree? Let me know. But anyway, thank you so much to my patrons, my YouTube members, early access to all my videos down below. But yeah, that's it. That's the end for Severance for now. But yeah, be good, and I'll see you soon.